Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to understand how to make journal. Then next step we will make ledgers, and last step we will convert those ledgers into trial balance. Here we have our very small question, short question where only four entries are present. It's because the ledger, trial balance and journal. If you would have large number of entries, it would take a lot of time. That is why a small question has been chosen. Our first step would be to make our journal. I haven't put any line over there, and I will make all the lines in front of you so that you can understand. So this is our first step. We are going to make journal, and as you know that there are these many columns. First would be the date, and then we will have particulars. You may write detail over here, and then the amount which would be written in debit, amount which would be written in credit. So here our performer. Next step is to put the lines. Please understand that this way you will put the lines, and here you will come to know as you will be solving this question by yourself. So you must know how to put the lines. After particulars, there are lines. After debit and credit, there are lines. And last line would be at credit. So here our lines have been completed. First column would be used for date. Second column would be used for particulars. And third column would be used for debit. Last column would be used for credit. In this way, our journal entries would be completed. So we are going to start. This is our first entry. Mr. Saeed started business with cash. We will solve it separately. First narration, started business with cash. Our first narration has been written. Little more space is needed, and we are going to make. When cash is provided by the proprietor, it means cash is coming in the business, cash asset is increasing, so you will write cash on debit side. Again, cash is incoming, cash is your asset is increasing, increase in asset should be debited, so cash is debited. Amount which is provided by proprietor is called capital, so you will write capital on credit side. How much amount? Look at here, 1,30,000 you are going to write on debit, and same amount you are going to post on credit. This was your first entry, and now we will see what second entry is saying. And please note it down. After each entry you will be putting line in particulars only. Please note it down, only in particulars. So now we are going to see second part of this entry. Started business with cash and building. So here started, again we will write the same thing. Started business. Now he is saying he had started this business with building. No matter whatever is provided by the proprietor, that would be considered as capital. So in this case we have been provided by building. So obviously I have told you whatever is provided by the proprietor is called capital. Capital is liability and would be written on credit side. What is coming in? Started business with building. So building is coming in your business. Building is your asset. Asset is increasing. So you will write building on debit side. In this way, second part of the entry has been completed, and you can see that amount of building, look at here, is 2,40,000. So you will put 2,40,000 on debit side, and same amount will be written on credit side. In this way, our second entry is completed, And now we are going to solve our third entry, but date of third entry is still 2, so we will write 1 over here. Note it down. Look at here. This is your first entry, and both entries were on 1st January, building and cash. Now this is your January 2nd, purchase goods for cash. So here you will write your narration first, purchased goods for cash. That means goods are coming in, goods are your near asset, asset is increasing, so you were supposed to write goods over here. But as you know, in accounting we do not write goods. In place of goods we write working. What working we are doing? Purchase. So we are going to write purchase over here. Goods were written just for the reference. It's now unnecessary to be written over here, so you may delete it. So purchase would be written on debit side because goods are coming in, and since you have bought these goods for cash, so cash is going out. Cash is your asset. Asset is decreasing. Decrease in asset should be credited. So cash is credit. Number 2 entry, amount is 60,000. So we are going to put 60,000 on debit side, and same amount we are going to write on credit side. Second entry is completed. As usual, we will put a closing line in particulars. Now we will see what next entry is. Date is January 5. So just put January 5 in date column. Entry is saying sold goods for cash. First step, as usual, we are going to write narration. Sold goods for cash. This is our narration. And now what does that mean? You have sold goods. Goods are going out. Goods are decreasing. Decrease in asset should be credited. So we were supposed to write goods on credit side. But as usual, we do not write goods in accounting. We write working in place of it. What working we are doing? We are selling goods. So we would write sales over here to sales. When you will sell your goods, cash will come in. Cash is your asset. Asset is increasing. So you are going to write cash on debit side. So what entry you are understanding? It's cash. Number 5 entry, 44,000 is amount that would be written on debit side, and same amount we are going to write on credit side. So entry which we have made is cash to sale. After completion of this entry, we are putting a line. So fifth entry is completed. Now number 10 entry is bought iron safe. So here you will put narration, bought iron safe is just like a cupboard. Entry number is 10. When you will buy iron safe, it's furniture. Furniture is asset. Asset increasing. Increase in asset should be debited. So on debit side, you will write safe. Iron safe is your asset. Asset has been increased. When you will buy an asset, cash will go out. Cash is your asset. Asset is decreasing. Decrease in asset should be written on credit side. So our entry has been completed. Iron safe to cash. Now let's see how much amount, 8,000. So we are going to write 8,000 on debit side, 8,000 on credit side. So first entry 132.40, 132.40, second 60,000, all right. Third 44,000, okay, and last 8,000. It means our journal entries have been completed. So this was our first part. Now we are going to start our ledgers. I have told you time is needed to understand it because it's a lengthy process. So here we are going to make our ledgers. Performa is in front of you, and here a process of ledgers will be made. The first thing first, you will write date over here, then detail or particulars can be written. You may write detail or particulars. Then this would be ledger folio, and this would be journal folio. which would normally not be used. Okay, one more column was needed for the date and we'll have to adjust it. So this would be for here. Another column is needed, so we have increased it. This column would be used for date again. I'm requesting you to please understand how to put these lines, and then we will have particulars again. Little more space is needed, and here we will write detail or particulars, both are good. Finally, again ledger folio and journal folio would be written, and last step is to write the amount in rupees. Okay, another column is needed over here, so let's put another column. This would be used for amount. Here you are going to put amount. So finally it has been completed. I'm going to make little more space. So these journal folio and ledger folios, these are normally not used. So we are taking less space for it. Again, in the similar way, ledger folio and journal folios would not be used. That is why we are taking help. So this is your left part, and I am going to change its color so that you can understand little bit better way. Okay, so here we would have our amount and we are going to change its color. Please understand, we have two sides. This is your left side and this is your right side, and in this way we are creating a difference between both sides. Okay guys, and here we are going to put lines. Most important part of general ledger is to put the lines. If you know how to put the lines, that would be very easy for you. So now we can start our question. Ledgers is our topic. Now how many ledgers would be made? Please note it down. All the names present in your journal, you will make its ledgers. So first name which we are getting is cash. And this would be our first ledger. And how you will make this ledger? Again, procedure is very simple. If cash is debit, you will write it on debit side of ledger. Please note it down. If cash is debit, you will note it down in the same debit side. This is your debit side, this is credit side. So here cash is debit by 130,000. This is your debit side, amount is 130,000. You will put over here. In detail, what you will do, whatever is written on the opposite side, that was 2 capital, you will write over here. Date was 1. In this way, first entry has been completed. Now see second entry, cash is not present, leave it. Next, cash is present. Yes, cash is present on credit side. I have told you the rule. If cash is present on debit, write down on debit side. If cash is present on credit side, here you will choose the credit side. Now your amount in credit side is 60,000. You have written. Now what we have done, cash was credit, we have written on credit side, and purchase was present on the opposite side. You will write it, just with the difference you will be writing the word buy with it. So buy, purchase. Alright, two entries are completed. Now we will see the third entry, cash. Yes, cash is present. It is written on debit side. So what you will do, you will choose the debit side, will write the amount, and please note it down. To write detail, what you will do, you will choose the opposite side. What is written on opposite side? Sales. So you will use two sales over here. Date was 5. Put the date, and purchase date was 5. Purchase date was 2. Put it. And now we will be proceeding to next entry. Please note it down. This is number 10 entry. Cash was credited by 8,000. So what you will do, you will choose credit side, and this was the amount 8,000 for last entry you have posted. Now again for 8,000 you need to put the reference. Cash was credit, and what is written on the opposite side? That is iron safe. So here you will choose iron safe. Alright guys, all entries are completed. Please note carefully what we have done. And actually lines are also important. I can see lines on Excel, but perhaps it's not visible for you. So alright, we are going to put the lines. Though it would take time, but you will understand it in a better way. Time would be taken for lines, but I am requesting you to be patient because it is important to understand. So as you can see that after date we have put the line, after detail we have put the line, after ledger folio we have put the line, after amount we are going to put the line. So I'm sure that you people will understand the importance of presentation, because without line it would not be eligible for good question. Okay, now next step is to calculate the balance. Date was 10 for iron safe. It is requested to please be attentive. First step is to calculate the sum of both sides. Here I'm going to take the sum of debit. It is 174,000, and same sum total would be calculated for the credit side. First step completed. Please do understand total of both sides. This was step number 1. Then you will choose the larger side. Which one is larger amount? You have 68,000 and you have 174,000. Choose the larger amount. Larger amount is 174,000. So what you will do, you will write 174,000 on total of both sides. Again, understand, first you will see the total of both sides, and then you will choose the larger sum, and larger sum would be written on total of both sides. All right, I'm telling you third, fourth time. First, sum of both sides, larger amount you will take, it is 74, and you will put on total of both sides. Then third step is to choose smaller side. This is your smaller side, and here you will calculate your balance. And how you will calculate balance? You will subtract smaller amount from the larger amount. Larger amount is 174, smaller amount is 68,000. So you have got your balance. The next step is to brought this balance downward. This is your 106,000. You have brought this balance downward, and you will name it to balance, and you will write brought down. Okay guys, this was our answer of cash ledger. Cash ledger has been completed. Now next step is what? These amounts were written just for the reference, and now they are not needed but needed. And here you will write by yourself. Amount was 174,000 larger, 68,000 was smaller amount. Balance calculated. These amounts were written just as your rough work. So you will erase it, or you may write it to other side. First ledger has been completed. Now we are going to make our second ledger. For me it is little easy. I will just copy and paste. Now we will see what next ledger. Cash ledger has been completed. Next ledger is for capital, and here we will write capital. In this way, you can understand that no heading has been changed. All heading which we have used for the previous ledger, same heading we are using, just with the difference of new ledger. Now we are going to make our ledger number 2. This is capital ledger. First ledger was ledger of cash. In previous ledger, we were focusing upon cash, and now we will focus on capital. Rule is same. If capital is present on credit side, you will choose credit side of the ledger. If capital is present on debit side, you will choose debit side. But for now, we do have first entry capital 130,000, which is present on credit side. And how much amount it is? 1,30,000. You will put over here. For reference, what you will see, look at here. For reference, whatever is written opposite side, you will give the reference with additional word of buy. Look, what is written on the opposite side? Cash. So here you will put the cash. This was your entry number 1. Now in entry number 1, but the second part, again capital has a right. How much amount? 240,000. Since capital is written on credit side, what you will do? You will write amount on credit side 240,000. For reference, what you will do? Opposite side. What is written on the opposite side? Building. So here with additional word of buy, we will write building. Its date is also 1. Now capital is not present in third entry. Capital is not present in 5th or 10th entry. It means all entries are completed. Again, it's time to balance, and for balance, what steps? I'm hopeful that you remember. First step is to take total. Okay, so first we will take sum of credit side where there are two amounts and there is no amount present on debit side. Look at here, no amount is present. It means total is 0. So first step has been done, total of both sides. Then choose larger amount. Make a comparison which amount is larger, 370. So here you will write 370,000 as your total and write down this total on both sides. This was your step number 3. Choose larger amount, write on total of both sides. I have written these steps so that you can remember. First step, total of both sides. Choose larger sum. Larger sum was 370 and write on total of both sides. Now next step is choose smaller side. Which side was smaller? Here total was 0, so you will choose this smaller side and you will write to balance. And remember, this is not brought down balance, this is first balance, to balance. And next step is to calculate the balance. How? Subtract smaller amount from the larger amount. Larger amount was 370,000 and smaller amount you can see was 0. So same answer would be over there. Last step would be to brought this balance down. This amount of balance would be written over here and you will write Y balance. And of course BD means brought down. You will write over here. This is your answer and we are going to highlight it. In this way, our second ledger, ledger of capital, has been completed. First ledger was cash. Okay, come over here and now we will see what next ledger. Next word we have building. So of course we are going to make ledger for the building. For me it is little easy. Extra rough work I'm going to delete and I am taking these heading as it is for making the next ledger, except for the title. I am going to make building ledger. Rule is similar. We will see building. If it is debit, we will choose debit side of the ledger. If it is credit, we will choose credit side of the ledger. First entry, building is not present, leave it. Second entry, yes, building is present, 240,000 on debit side. So what you will do, similarly as we have made in previous ledger, we will choose debit side. If building is present on debit, we will choose debit. And how much amount of building? Look at here, 240,000 building debit, we will post over here. For reference, what you will do, you will go to the opposite side and you can see that building was present over here. At opposite side, it was capital. So here you will write whatever is written on opposite side. Opposite side, 2 capital was written and you have written. Now luckily you can see building is not present in remaining entries. It means ledger completed. Again, we will be following same steps which have been written over here. First step is to calculate the total. Total of debit side is 240, then total of credit side is nothing, 0. So you may write 2 because there is only one amount, we don't have to calculate. Total of credit side 0. First step is completed. To choose larger sum, this is your second step. Larger sum is 240,000 and you will be writing this larger sum on total of both sides. First total of debit side and same total would be written on credit side as well. So two steps completed. Total we have taken, larger sum has been taken, and we have written on total of both sides. Three steps have been completed. Now next step is choose smaller side. This was smaller side because its total was only 0, and here you will calculate first balance, which is called carry forward, or you may write CF. How you will calculate this first balance? By subtracting smaller amount from the larger amount. Larger amount was 240,000 and smaller amount was 0. So here you will put, in this way you have calculated your balance. Last step is to brought down this balance on the opposite side. As you can see, first balance was calculated on credit side and BD brought down balance would be brought to the opposite side, and same amount of balance we will be writing over here. So guys, in this way our ledger number 3 building has been completed. Answer was 240,000. These amounts of total of both sides were written just as rough work and it has been completed. Now after building, we will see what is next. Cash ledger completed, capital ledger completed, building completed, capital completed. Next word is purchase. Alright guys, we are going to make ledger for purchase. Again, little bit help I am getting from Excel. Just copying the headings and changing the title. So next ledger would be ledger for purchase. Rule is similar. We will search for purchase. If purchase is present on debit side, we will choose debit side. Entry number 1, purchase is not present, skip it. Entry number 2, yes, purchase is present on debit side, 60,000. So here you are going to write 60,000 on debit side. This was your purchase. For reference, what you will do? You will choose the opposite side. What is written on the opposite side? To cash. So here to cash would be written. And the date for this entry was 2. Just put 2 over here. After which you can see that no other entry does have purchase. Question is ended. There was only one entry of purchase. It means now we are going to calculate the balance, and you can see that these were our rules and we are going to put over here so that you can repeat. First step is to calculate the total. Okay, so 60,000 is total of debit side and total of credit side is 0. Why? Because there is no amount present over there. Next step, choose larger sum. Larger sum is 60 and write on total of both sides. Larger sum we have taken, 60,000 would be written on total of debit side, and in the similar way we are going to write same total on both sides. Next step is choose smaller side. This is smaller side because its total was 0, and here you will write balance. And how you will calculate the balance? First balance by subtracting smaller amount from the larger amount. Larger amount was 60,000, smaller 0. Larger amount was 60,000. I am just going to write it so that you can understand. So in this way, our balance has been calculated. Last step is to bring this balance downward. And what you will write, since you have brought this balance to the opposite side, so you will write to balance brought down. This is our answer for which ledger? Purchase ledger. So let's come over here. We have completed purchase ledger. Cash ledger already completed. Cash ledger already completed. Now next word we have is sales. So we are going to make ledger for sale, and these sums were written just for rough work. You will erase it, and I am going to take help from Excel, just copy pasting the next ledger. I'm going to change its title, which is now sale. So next ledger is sale. We will be attentive to sale only. Starting from the first entry, sale is not present. Second entry, sale is not present. Next entry, sale is not present. You will skip all these entries. Then entry number 5, we have sales. Sale is present on credit side. So you will choose credit side of sale ledger, and how much amount of sale is, that is 44,000. On credit side, you will post the amount. The next step is to see what is written on the opposite side. Sale entry we have done, and what is written on the opposite side, that is cash. So you will put cash. So here you will write buy cash. Now you will see this was your entry sales, and nothing, nowhere else sale is present. It means there is only one entry of sale. Now it's time to calculate the balance. Absolutely same way we will be following these steps which we have written over here. And why I am writing again and again, because more you will listen again, more you will be in your practice, and this will make you perfect. First step is to take the total. Total of credit side is 44,000. Why it is easy? Because there is only one amount. Then total of debit side is 0. Alright. Total of both sides have been completed. Choose larger sum, which is 44, and we are going to write 44,000 on total of both sides. First we have written total on credit side, and same total we are going to write on debit side as well. Next step, look, total we have done, larger sum taken, written on both sides. Choose smaller side. So this is your smaller side, and here you will write to balance. Our first balance would be calculated by subtracting smaller sum from the larger sum. Our larger sum is 44,000, and you will subtract smaller sum, which is 0. In this way, first balance have been calculated. Next and last step is to bring this balance to the downward. 44,000 we have brought it down, and we'll write by balance, and this would be called brought down balance. Alright guys, in this way our sale ledger is also completed. These sums were written just for the rough work, and you may erase it. Now let's see what next entry we are going to do after sales. We have iron sale. This is our last ledger. I am going to take again help of Excel, copy pasting of heading except for the title. Last ledger is for iron safe. Rule is similar. We will be looking forward for the safe. If it is present on debit, we will choose debit. This is the only entry where iron safe is present. Amount is written on debit side. So here you will choose debit side and will write the amount 8,000. Secondly, for reference, we will use on the opposite side. At opposite side, what is written? We have 2 cash and same amount, same 2 cash would be written over here. So in this way, since you have seen that there was only one entry, this was entry number 10. So no other entry is present for iron safe. As you can see, these are your entries. Only one entry was having iron safe. It means its ledger is also completed. Now it's time to calculate the balance. Steps we will follow the same. First, calculate the total. Total of credit side is 0 because no amount is present on credit side. Total of debit side is 8,000 as it's only one amount. Next, choose larger sum and write on total of both sides. Larger sum is 8,000 and you are going to write on total of both sides. For total, we are going to put lines and same total would be written on credit side. This is what we mean, write on total on both sides. So both side total, choose smaller side. This is 0. So smaller side is credit. Here you will write by balance, and how you will calculate this balance? By subtracting smaller sum from the larger sum. Larger sum was 8,000. Subtract smaller sum, which is 0. So we have got our balance. Now next step is to brought it down. This balance is brought down to the opposite side and you will write to balance over here. So guys, in this, and you will write brought down, BD brought down. Just highlight this balance and total was calculated just for rough work. So guys, in this way all ledgers have been completed. As it was promised and committed that we are going to make three features: journal, ledger and trial balance. Our journal has been completed, which is here, and ledgers are completed, they are here. Now finally we are going to make our trial balance. For trial balance, same performer would be used, and here we are going to make our trial balance. You may use other space as well, but for me it is little easy over here. So guys, we have trial balance, highlighting it, and finally it's time to calculate trial balance. Method is very simple and you are going to write all ledgers. First ledger, title was cash, write down cash. Okay, we need to write in small letters. Rule is very simple. You will go to the ledger, will write the title. Second step, you will see where balance is brought down, BD. Balance is present on debit side. So you will choose debit side. Again, listen what we have done. First, go to the ledger, write down the title. Now you can see balance has been written on debit side. So you will choose debit side for writing the amount. This is the method of trial balance. This is where you will write the number of ledger. Here title, detail can also be written. This would be used for debit and this would be used for credit as usual. Why we have written debit? Look at here, cash ledger. Balance brought down was present on debit, so you have chosen debit side. Now next ledger is capital. Go to the trial balance and write down capital. These are actually headings, so let's highlight them, and we are going to put some lines over here to make a difference. Now we will see capital. Look at here, this is your capital ledger, and now you will see where balance is written. Look at here, 37,000. This is written on credit side, so you will choose credit side. So we have chosen credit side for the capital. After capital, we will see now next ledger is building. Okay, write down over here building, and we will see where balance of building has been written. Look, this is your building ledger, and balance is written on debit side, so you will choose debit side. Now after building we have purchase. First put the title, and now we will see where balance of purchase is written. Look, this is your purchase ledger. Balance is written on debit side, so you will choose debit side of the trial balance. Next ledger is sale. First step is to put the title, and now we will see where its balance is written. Look at here, balance is, one second, rough work has been deleted, so we will be calculating manually. Larger sum was 44,000, smaller sum was 0, so you have calculated. Okay, now let's come back to our sale. We will see where sales balance has been written. This is your sale ledger, and balance is written on credit, so you will choose credit side. Next is iron safe. So let's write down the title first and see where this ledger is. Look at here, this is your iron safe ledger, and balance is written on debit side, so you will choose debit side. Okay guys, all ledgers have been written. This was your ledger number 1, then 2, 5 and 6 ledger. The magic is here. When you will take sum of both sides, sum of both sides, the magic is the total of both sides would automatically be equal. So here we are going to take sum of both sides, and you can see that both totals are absolutely equal. So in this way our question has been completed. We have made journal, we have made ledger, and trial balance is also made, with which our question has been completed. This is the most important part. When total of both sides is equal, it means no ledger has any mistake, or no journal entry has any mistake. So please note it down. Here we have made journal and different ledgers, and finally answer of these ledgers were posted in trial balance, and we have seen total of both sides automatically becomes equal, which shows that our question is okay. I am humbly requesting you to please practice this question for 2-3 times. In this way your paper would be absolutely in preparation. Journal is ready, ledgers are ready. 2 chapters. So thank you very much for your time. It's time to end our lecture. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.